Einar, Tangen, G7 countries also criticized China, said do not use Nancy Pelosi's visit as an excuse to justify military aggression. Sir, are China's actions being called out as inappropriate by democracies in different parts of the world?
You mean the same democracy that is trying to extend NATO into the South China Seas and Asia as a way of containing China? Is that the one? These are the same powers, the G7. I mean, you know, I'm sorry, the European powers. Well, come on. I mean, this is disingenuous. The fact is, if you want to look at the wider picture, Nancy Pelosi's husband is pleading not guilty to driving under intoxicated. She's the subject, and he's going to be the subject of investigations when the House
How is Nancy Pelosi's husband central to any discussion on what China is doing to Taiwan, sir?
She is trying, her visit was trying to deflect the attention of people away from her problems, the fact that she's going to be no longer the Speaker of the House. If it goes to the Republicans, there's a 17% chance that the Democrats will keep the House.
Why should Xi Jinping then help her? Why wasn't this visit treated with the contempt that it should have deserved? Be that as the case, sir. I'm just trying to understand. Is China just using this as an excuse, to ramp up military pressure on Taiwan, try to take Taiwan by force?
It is not an excuse. If you recall, China said adamantly and forcefully that there would be consequences if she went there, that they were afraid that because of Biden's actions and the actions of the last three presidents, that the three communiques were being put aside. They were being cast off. Donald Trump's advisors advised him during the beginning of his presidency to abrogate those communiques and go forward without them. So China has every right to believe that the U.S. has been gaslighting it with this, now you see it, now you don't, we'll defend it, oh, I'm sorry, we'll walk that back, and then saying it again, and then walking it back, changing in State Department websites.
And in your view, that justifies holding sea lanes of communication to ransom?
Yeah, okay, and in terms of India, what have you done in Kashmir?
No, don't worry. Don't worry about Kashmir. There is no similarity. There's no similarity. I'm sorry, that's disingenuous. Let's stay on the issue of Taiwan and China.
The issue is if Taiwan is part of China. That has been acknowledged by the world, the UN, and everybody else. The US is now trying to change that. So China, of course, is upset, and they're trying to make it very clear that this is not something, this is a red line. This is not something you dance around. So every country has their red lines. You have yours, and China has theirs. You need to respect that.
Sana Hashmi, some argue that China's behaving like a bully. In fact, your Prime Minister said China's behaving, Taiwan's Prime Minister said, China's behaving like an evil neighbor next door. But some analysts argue China's actually validating some of its doctrines, war doctrines and war games. The current military drills are perhaps a dress rehearsal for actual operations to take over Taiwan by force in the years to come. Is that an appreciation even in Taiwan, that perhaps in the next 2 years, maybe 5 years, this is exactly how China will try and take Taiwan by force?
I think in Taiwan there is no timeline with respect to that, but you're totally right about it. I think once Xi Jinping secures the third term, it's going to be very difficult for Taiwan, I agree, but I don't agree with my fellow speaker that the US policy on Taiwan has changed at all. Even if Biden has said thrice in a year that we have a commitment to defend Taiwan, White House backtracked that. So I don't see there's any official change in the policy. Unless and until it's on paper, how can we even say that there's a change in policy? And I don't think a lot of countries have actually recognized Taiwan as a part of China. They have acknowledged and kind of accepted the one China policy, but it's a totally different thing that they recognize Taiwan as a part of China. So I don't really agree on that point. But I think it's highly provocative, and they're now targeting, like what they did yesterday, the missile that flew over Taipei and landed in Japan's exclusive economic zone. That means that they're ready to hit the civilians as well. And I don't know how this is actually justified.